Good evening, members.
Well, according to my point of view, every job is important in which people help the others. Such jobs like doctors, teachers, police officers, army officers, and so on. Here I would like to talk about a person who is a doctor by their profession, and his name is Mr. Randhawa. He live in my hometown, and he's 45 years old, but still looks very young and healthy. Actually, he's a retired army doctor, but in present scenario, he has a medical clinic in which he serves the patients, and interestingly, he serves poor and needy patients without any cost, because he thinks that we should help the poverty stricken people. Apart from this, he also conduct a free seminar related to the health, in which he guide the people related to the different kinds of elements, in which he tells how to mitigate and how to treat the various kind of disease by adopting a healthy lifestyle. If I'm talking about his nature, he's very kind heart and as well as down to earth person, because he also respect to the women and also loves the children.
Were you very conscious today when you were speaking? That's what we could sense. And there was a bit of, lag in your voice. Probably that is because of the network issue, dear. All right. First thing today that I noticed was present simple tense that has gone wrong in a couple of scenarios. Like, he lives in so and so. And when you started talking about his clinic, all right, you're going to be using the relative pronoun where, because clinic is a place, not which, where. So this is, another grammar component which is acceptable both in reading and speaking. I appreciate that you have made an attempt to, use this in your speaking. So it's very easy. Let's just, brush it up to your once. And then there was another phrase, if I'm talking about so and so. So you could directly get in as to what kind of a person he is. If that's the question, you could talk about his personality trait. He is an extrovert, a kind person, a kind hearted person, very generous. So these are the words that you could be using there. Okay. So we will avoid that phrase because it sounds informal rather. So today, I don't know, there were some pauses here and there, dear. So let's get on. You're welcome, dear. You managed to speak for 2 minutes, 8 seconds almost. So yes, request you to avoid words like dad. We are going to be using the word or term father. My father. Dad is considered to be an informal word, dear, at least when it comes to IELTS. Probably you could be using that term or word when it comes to your near ones or dear ones. Okay? And
Okay.
even the word kids, you could be using the word little ones,
Okay.
toddlers, young
Mm-hmm.
ones. Okay? And then apart from that, we had so being used multiple times as connector, but when we use so, we are expecting a result, consequences of the first action that you explained here. So we would
Mm-hmm.
want, after the word so, we would want a full-fledged sentence. Now apart from that, here and there, a bit of pauses. Your ideas were good, let me tell you. The sequencing, content, you exceeded 2 minutes, so you have a very good content and hold over the language. Your lexical resource was good too.
All right.
Let's make sure we use some conjunctions and a bit of voice modulation there. You should sound enthusiastic when you're speaking.
All right.
Well, I guess there are like a myriad of jobs when it comes to the people which help the job, does the job by helping the society. For example, the profession, doctor profession, the police forces, and the military forces are like one of the most common type of professions which really helps the community. Even though they are getting paid enough by the government and private organizations, still they are literally living their own lives for the society and the community for welfare of the people. In this occasion, I would like to talk about one of those jobs like the frontline workers who really sacrifices themselves a lot in their personal and professional life. There is this one frontline worker in my locality whose name is Mark, and the main job for him is to take out all the dump or the garbage from everybody's home at 6 o'clock in the morning and take and dump them in the truck and get them to the loading area. Maybe this kind of job looks like a pretty much easy one, but in reality, it is not, because he has to take all of the dumpster from everybody's home at 6 o'clock in the morning, as I said before, and without hesitation, that's his job to do, even though they have an horrible odor. At first, I was one of those blind people who never really thought that this kind of importance of this job. But when he took himself a personal day or a week off, and the garbage started piling up in my house, that's when I realized the importance of this job. And the worst part is these type of people and the jobs are not really appreciated, and in fact they are even underpaid in today's society. And when it comes to the skills, I guess patience and an enthusiastic motivation is like one of the most important things a person in this kind of sector who needs to possess. And this is like one of the greatest things which I really admire, and I guess they really deserve a great salute. In the whole pandemic situation, I guess the world really realized the importance of the doctors and frontline workers a lot.
When it comes to speaking, as always, you have good hold over the language. Your content was good. When we are talking about professions in general, like doctors, police, so what we will never use article THE until and unless you're specific about someone, all right? So we will avoid that. So you might be wondering, it is a very minor thing. Why is that? It has been a highlighted. When it comes to your IELTS speaking and writing both, if at all an article, even a single a, an, or the, if used unnecessarily, that attracts penalty. And if not used when required to, for that matter. When I talk about the country, UK, which is a union of 4 different countries, when I don't use the UK, that attracts penalty. So I'm just stressing it is also important. Your potential, we do not want you to lose marks on these, minor mistakes. That's why. So
Sure.
apart from that, for and off, one of the scenarios, I forgot to make a note of that, text. So you were talking about the locality.
Yes.
There, it was actually off instead of for. That's all. So
Okay.
you have been able to use good connectors. We would appreciate that, and all the very best.
Thank you, ma'am.
Okay, let me talk about areas of improvement directly. So you have used, some connectors. So because, which is good. So we could increase the intensity of those words there. When you're trying to provide opposite ideas or contrasting ones, please have some that is going to improvise your speaking. Now, apart from that, the word community was repeated multiple times. So could we have probably a similar word? Let's say, could I use a society, an association which has been formed for a particular cause? And the cause was this. So let's have these phrases instead there, because repetition of words will attract penalty again. So let's avoid. So apart from that, your content was good. So all the very best.
Thank you, ma'am.
You're welcome, dear. So you're welcome. And you managed to speak for 2 minutes exactly on the dot, so which is good. So we appreciate that your content was good. You were able to use good amount of connectors. But there was one instance that also and on the other hand mixed. So we will use one of them for that matter. Also is a word that you use when you're providing additional info with whatever you've already stated. On the other hand, is a contrasting phrase altogether. So we will not mix these two. That's all. That was the only thing I had to, dear. Otherwise, it was all good and all the very best.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
The person I'm going to talk about today, who does a job that impacts on the society positively, is my mother. My mother is Mrs. Masawi. She is 51 years old and she's employed as a superintendent at a children's home. Her job is to look after children who are in need of care, and these children are placed there by the Department of Social Development. She takes care of all their needs, that is the education. She makes sure they're sheltered, they are fed, and they are clothed. She also takes care of their spiritual well-being by making sure that the children attend church services or do daily devotions at the home. Her job helps the society by making sure that children who are orphans or vulnerable in any way are taken care of. And this helps the society by making sure that the children grow up positively, and that they don't just become idols such that they'll cause or commit crime. The skills that she requires for her job are good communication skills, because she liaises with a variety of stakeholders, the schools, the churches, donors that assist the children's home. So yeah, she also needs the big heart that she has to carry out all these jobs that she does at the children's home. Thank you.
Welcome, dear. The sequencing content and your lexical resource was good too. You did not pause, you did not think, so you probably had prepared it well, or you knew about it better. So, and then the only thing is, we could have some connectors when you present these ideas, dear. Let's connect all of these ideas. Let's weave them, that makes a lot of sense, even when it
Okay.
comes to your writing as well, dear. You're going to be using some sequence connectors. And
All right.
like, firstly, this is what is taken care of, like when you were talking about basic necessities of life, food,
All
clothing,
right.
and shelter.
Uh-huh.
Apart from that, so we will use this phrase apart from that, or to add on. Furthermore, they also
Okay.
take care of, church activities, that spiritual duties that,
All
of
right.
those children as well, that has been taken care of. So you could
All
be
right.
adding these connectors, dear. That's all.
Okay. Thank you.
When it comes to IELTS speaking, as we keep stressing, all right, when it comes to Q card, especially, you will have a minute's time to prepare. During that time, please make sure you have that mind mapping. Now, what is mind mapping? It is nothing but you have that main idea. Now, what is the question here? You come back to the question, you check what is a, and based on that, you're going to be preparing yourself. You could have vocabulary words or question words, and please have a lot of similar words handy. If you feel okay, I'm going to be talking about this person, okay, talking about his or her personality traits, let's not repeat words. And for whatever personality traits that you say, give us at least one liner explanation. This person is generous, so give us an explanation, support them with your sentences. Now, while you do so, have some connectors and conjunctions. So that is what is expected when it comes to your speaking. Let's not repeat words. Never do that. I mean, I have seen a lot of members who have avoided, we don't use a lot of fillers, which is a very good thing. I appreciate all of your effort in that direction. We know, so, unnecessarily we haven't. You come prepared very well. So we value your time. We appreciate your effort as well. Take care of the voice modulation as well. You need to sound really enthusiastic. Sound as human as possible. That's all. See, when you're talking about your friend, your mother, anyone for that matter that you admire the most, you should have that interest, that enthu in your voice. Stress pattern as well will is going to add on to your score. All right, members, we shall end the session for the day. Thank you so much for your active
Ma'am.
participation today as well.
Thank
With that,
you.
Thank you,
Bye.
ma'am. Thank you.
welcome.
Thank you, ma'am.